with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Haley Potter. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of the Erie News NOWCAST. Postal workers are speaking out tonight over proposed changes to the mail service in Erie. This afternoon, members of the postal worker and mail carrier unions picketed outside of the Erie facility on East 38th Street. As it stands right now, the Postal Service plans to move its Erie mail processing operations to Pittsburgh by the end of the year. In 2015, the Postal Service began sending Erie mail to Pittsburgh to be postmarked. The mail is then sent back to the City of Erie facility where it's sorted and then delivered. According to the Mail Handler Union, its Erie sorting operations are moved to Pittsburgh. More than 30 maintenance and processing workers will lose their jobs, and it'll also lead to delivery delays.
I would say that this affects anybody who has a mailbox, whether you receive your prescriptions or just your letters, a flat, your favorite magazine. It sort of touches everybody, so we hope to get the support of our community.
The consolidation is part of the Postal Service's 10-year plan to stabilize its finances due to a decline in mail volume. The U.S. Census Bureau has released new population data, which will be used to reshape U.S. House seats and state legislative districts for the next decade. We wanted to know where things stand here locally. According to the Census Bureau, all three of our counties saw population loss since 2010, with the biggest loss being in Warren County. The city of Erie has roughly 95,000 residents, which is a drop of nearly 10,000 compared to the 2010 census. It's also well below the 100,000 residents reported by the city's mayor. Only population data was released today, so no age or demographic data is available quite yet. So how will this new data affect Erie? Local political experts tell us depending on how the districts are redrawn, Erie may be grouped with different counties on the congressional map. And since Erie County didn't increase its population, it means the county will receive less federal and state funding over the next 10 years. Erie County Executive Kathy Dahlkemper says the numbers are disappointing, but not as frustrating as losing a congressional seat in the Commonwealth.
It reduces our clout. You know, when we go from 18 to 17 now, seats in Congress, it's just one less person that can be down there voting and trying to bring the concerns of Pennsylvania forward.
And new today, animal cruelty officers were back at a home on Erie's east side today, confiscating more animals from a woman who's already facing 90 neglect charges. When a constable showed up to the home of 76-year-old Diane Eggleston this morning to take her to be arraigned, he found even more animals in there. After a complete search of the home, animal enforcement officers found 22 animals, including a cat, kittens, rabbits, and guinea pigs. Back in May, 46 animals were taken from Eggleston's home, leading to 90 cruelty and neglect charges and an order to not own any more animals.
When is enough enough? When is somebody going to learn? But that's where you really have to look at the mental health situation and how that's being presented. So not only do I really believe that this person needs jail time, but they need mental health counseling. They need somebody to come into the home, close the home up and get her the help that she needs.
And back in 2010, Eggleston was charged with animal cruelty for a similar hoarding situation. The threat of storms remains in the forecast, and so does the heat. So many people might be rushing home to crank up their AC units, but that can get pretty expensive, and it can also strain the power grid, causing citywide blackouts. Penelec spokesperson Todd Myers urges people to rethink their cooling habits, not only for their wallets, but for the good of the grid as well. During the summer, those power grids work harder and heat up faster. Myers says if you aren't in a room, turn the window AC unit off and shut the vents and cut off air conditioning from the areas of the home that you don't use it.
We can't control the weather, we can't control the heat, but we can control our thermostats. Make sure that you do shut your drapes. Anything that faces the sun, you don't want that sun in your house at this time of day. It keeps the strain off your own equipment, and it also can send your bill down.
He tells us that each degree higher on a thermostat saves around 3% on your electricity bill. A major local grocery store chain announced it will accept digital payments. Giant Eagle said it will accept PayPal and Venmo at its supermarket and GetGo locations. It's the first grocery and convenience store chain in the U.S. to use both payments at the cash register. At the register, customers open their digital payment mobile app, Hit the scan button and select the Show to Pay option. It works just like any other digital payment like Apple Pay or Google Play. Thanks for joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. Join us for our next news at 10 p.m. on the CW and 11 p.m. on WICU and WSEE. Have a great night.